strongly for the proposition that Israel has not only the right but the obligation to defend itself.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken on his third visit since Hamas's terror attack started a war in Gaza.
When it comes to the protection of civilians who are caught in the crossfire of Hamas's making, that everything be done to protect them and to bring assistance to those who so desperately need it.
Standing next to Israel's president, Isaac Herzog, who says they urged Palestinians to get out before troops went in with
6 million text messages and 4 million phone calls and 1.2 million pamphlets.
But officials in Gaza say more than 9,000 Palestinians have been killed, over a third of them kids, as Israeli forces keep battling Hamas militants and Palestinians. They're out protesting in the West Bank.
The great concern is that there is so much anger now across the West Bank at what is happening in Gaza that these protests will be more violent than perhaps they have been in many years past.
Fox's Jonathan Hunt near an Israeli base on the edge of Ramallah. The House has approved $14 billion in military aid to Israel, though a dozen Democrats joined Democrats in support.
Senate Democrats say the bill is dead on arrival in that chamber, while the White House says President Biden would veto it. The president wants Congress to pass his $106 billion request for aid to Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan, while also funding enforcement efforts at the U.S. southern border as one complete package.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz at the Capitol. The president will today go to Lewiston, Maine, the scene of last week's mass shooting that left 18 people dead. He'll meet with survivors, victims' families, and first responders. In New York, Eric Trump will continue testifying at the Trump Organization's civil trial. He and his brother, Donald Jr., have distanced themselves on the witness stand from the company's financial statements. Their father, the former president, calls the case rigged, denying his company committed fraud like the judge already ruled. America's listening to Fox News.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks NyQuil High Blood Pressure for fast, powerful nighttime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. NyQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks NyQuil High Blood Pressure. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
10 months after Tyree Nichols was killed in an encounter with police in Memphis, Tennessee, one of the 5 now ex-cops charged takes a plea deal.
Desmond Mills Jr. in court in Memphis Thursday, switching his original plea to guilty to federal and later state charges in the beating death of Tyree Nichols during a traffic stop in January.
Today was very difficult for me because this was really the first time I actually heard somebody tell and say what they actually did to my son.
Nichols' mother, Rovon Wells, the family is suing the city of Memphis. We're told federal and state prosecutors agreed to recommend 15-year prison terms for Mills. When he's later sentenced, the deal likely hinges on Mills testifying against 4 other former officers who've previously pled not guilty in the case. Jeff Manasso, Fox News.
In Washington, D.C., a 12-year-old boy is in custody, suspected in a deadly carjacking.
His 13-year-old accomplice was shot and killed by the man they tried to carjack, but the 12-year-old took off. He was caught on surveillance video, and a picture from that was circulated by D.C. police. His own mother recognized the boy in the picture and turned him over to the cops. At a hearing, the judge said there was enough evidence to hold the boy for carjacking until a court appearance next week. Jill Nato, Fox News.
The man they tried to carjack turned out to be a U.S. Marshal in his car. Later this hour, we'll get a key update to the job market.
Economists are predicting that the October jobs report will show a slowdown in hiring and wage growth, with employers adding at least 170,000 jobs, which is down sharply from September's much stronger than expected tally of 336,000 jobs.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. The October unemployment rate expected to remain 3.8% on Wall Street. Ahead of that report, stock futures are mixed. The Pittsburgh Steelers kicked off Week 9 of the NFL season with a 20-16 win over the Tennessee Titans on Thursday Night Football. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
And local news, Illinois launching the next round of funding for Illinois Electric Vehicle Rebate Program. This round runs through January 31st. The program offers a $4,000 rebate for the purchase of an all-electric passenger vehicle or a $1,500 rebate for the purchase of an all-electric motorcycle. Open enrollment's underway for the Affordable Care Act health insurance marketplace. Illinois residents will have an additional month to enroll in a health plan through January 15. Department of Insurance says there's now 12 issuers offering ACA marketplace health plans in the state. One person hurt following a crash on I-55 in Macoupin County. State police say a semi rear-ending another on I-55 south of Staunton Road. One of the drivers sent to the hospital. Crews were called to the scene to clean up grain that spilled into the roadway. Police and fire spent hours at the scene trying to find out the cause of that accident. But again, the good news, there were relatively few injuries. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hey, good morning. It's Friday. Diane Ducey's there.
Good morning.
I'm right here. Sawyer's right here. So every year we do the same thing. Why do we have to change the clocks? You know? I don't know.
I don't like it. I don't like it either. Pure and simple.
I like the extra hour, but I don't like giving it up in the spring. So can we call it even and not do it?
I like, suns sometimes in, mid-summertime up, just getting going before, 4 in the morning. The birds are chirping by then.
That's right. Or at least they squeezed it. It's like November to March now. It used to be like way earlier and later. So, all right.
Diane, what's sundown on Sunday? Like 1 in the afternoon now?
Right.
Yeah, it's 4:30. 5?
I think it is like
4:30 something. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, where's the fun in that, man? How can you golf at 4:30 in the afternoon?
How can you ride your bike?
Man.
I look like a disco globe going out,
I just need to revisit why we're doing it. I just have forgotten. It's been so long. I know the lottery.
Was it an energy-related thing back 50, 60 years ago?
Maybe so, but also school bus in the morning.
Right.
And
they didn't want the kids who were catching an early bus to be in the dark.
Okay. What about going home?
I know.
Yeah, that's good point.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our weather brought to you by Carl.
Carl reminds you they're always looking to increase the team. Some perks and benefits to working at Carl. Find out more at carl.org/careers.
Okay, well, much milder than we were talking about 5-6 days ago, so we got that going for us. What are we seeing here on the Greg Solier meteorological maps?
Yeah, those maps and charts are pretty easy going around here. Nothing major, whether it's cold air, that's going to still and remain laid out over the northern tier of states and the Canadian Prairie. No sign of it making a full-fledged bodily return across the area. We'll see a little chillier air late next week, but then that following week, and I think, and you'll see it on this weekend's edition of This Week in Agribusiness, we have an extended outlook that'll take us into the beginning part of December. Looking pretty mild around here as we get past late next week. Another warm-up, El Nino driven on the plains coming our way, so hang in there. And the same with harvest opportunities. Just by a little rain in the forecast the first half of next week, that doesn't look to be too impressive either. Should be able to work and play and get caught up around here. Parts of Indiana and Michigan and Ohio still a little bit behind the 8 ball on corn harvest. Out the door this morning, a lot better than it was a couple of mornings ago. 36 at Willard and Savoy, 40 now at Rantoul, Danville, 39 at Bloomington Normal, 40 up at the Kankakee and under the Arch at St. Louis at 44. Forecast highs for the day today with a partly sunny, windy day's worth of weather within shouting distance of about 60 with that south wind 15 to 25 and gusty. A couple of sprinkles around tonight down to 45. Tomorrow partly sunny and 62 with a lighter west-northwesterly wind. We'll settle into the 30s tomorrow night, and a Sunday outlook again includes that time change before you retire Saturday night, 2 a.m. back 1 hour on the clocks. 60 the high with a partly sunny Sunday, maybe a couple sprinkles late in the day. A little rainy spell here or there, not all day. Monday, Tuesday could linger into Wednesday and Thursday. Light amounts, quarter inch or under that, I think. 66 on Monday, still in the lower 60s Tuesday and Wednesday. Back to the 50s next Thursday, briefly to the upper 40s next Friday, and then a milder spell that is for the following week.
I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
This is just struck me. You just said, change the clocks 2 a.m.
Yeah.
What clocks do we change anymore?
I was good at, I
don't have any clocks.
Automatically. Everything's,
my phone. iPhone does it automatically.
Do they even teach the big hand, the little hand in school anymore?
No.
No.
I have the microwave clock.
Right.
That's the
And
only
to
clock.
me, my van, but I figured it out now. It used
my,
to be
my car goes, I think, on its own.
right, but mine's
Yep,
older,
yep.
so I
So
used
you
to use
can change your
electrical
clock.
tape.
But in
until
your house,
Mike got there.
is there a cuckoo clock? I mean, do we have anything to change it?
I mean, we do. We have a clock in
because
every
you got
room.
to clock people,
Yeah, and
so you have to walk around.
yeah, grandfather clock.
Yeah, okay, all right.
all
Yeah,
that.
grandfather's clock. You know, heritage clocks. Those gotta be
Exactly.
changed.
But I'm thinking in my life, and there's no clocks in my house. Isn't that crazy? Back in the
Yet
day,
we're constantly looking at our phones to
That's
see what time
right.
it is.
we don't need any clocks.
I know. It's the same with the watch on your wrist.
Yeah, there you go.
How many
Yeah.
people do that?
Who's wearing a watch?
I know.
You wear them more for style now. Or let me take it back. When you have the iPhone on your wrist.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
The
people are
iPhone,
looking at that, and I'm going, isn't that interesting? They're looking. No, they're checking their text on their watch.
I think the hip way to call it, not a watch, it's a timepiece.
Oh,
Very good. Thanks, Greg.
I tell you
I
what.
learned that on social media a few days ago.
All right.
There are stages in life that you never thought you'd get to. You never thought you'd be the person saying, "Gosh, isn't that too loud?" I mean,
or the phrase. Back in the day, I've been doing that lately.
Yeah.
The kids, the boys have been catching
It's
that.
true.
And
But-
this is weather forecaster.
but we didn't realize when we got to this stage in life, we were always right. We are right. It is
We're
too
still
loud.
right.
It's too darn
We're
loud.
still right.
It's too darn loud. And we are tired, so the dark socks looks fine. Come on. Shorts and
I
dark
wouldn't go that
socks.
far
Dark
now. Wait a
socks
minute.
and shorts will actually work.
No,
It does work.
I don't know.
That's what I mean.
Stevie.
That's the change.
Socks in summertime, nah, they don't go together.
I mean, I think up to the knee makes sense. It gives you pressure in the calf.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
Mr.
Time for our medical segment now by Dr. Stevie Jay.
That's right. All right, my friend, keep it going. Doing well.
You bet. Thanks.
That's Greg Solier, our meteorologist. But I just set the clocks. What clocks? I don't have a clock radio anymore. I don't have any clocks on the wall. I don't have any clocks.
Never really thought about it.
We
but-
don't have clocks. If you sell clocks, you're hurting. You can't be a clock guy anymore.
Right.
It is and it's kind of the same for men's suits.
Yeah.
I mean, Coons in downtown Champagne's your men's store, but who, except for bankers and financial people, who's wearing suits to work?
I mean, we went there when we had a fancy occasion coming up. but-
If you want a suit, we got a place, but then again, then you have Amazon overnight, and they'll give me your measurements.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable the changes in our life. But the clocks and no clocks in the house. Anybody got a clock in their house on the kitchen wall still? I'd be very curious. 217-359-2255. I think we're just not there anymore.
You're right.
It is decidedly different in our lives today.
Absolutely.
Well, what would happen? Because really, remember, it was the late 90s when we were getting all fired up about dial-up. You've got mail. I mean, that was 25 years ago. But now things have changed in 25 years.
Technology.
And we were
Totally
so
jumped.
excited to get online. We made it. It's 2 minutes later, but we're on.
Right.
Wow. Look, we can look up this. We don't have to go to the library. Here's the information. It's
That's
crazy.
right.
Nuts. Nuts, I tell you. Okay, Brother Johnny, coming up bottom of the hour, we got a special Friday edition of Ed Martin, Brother Johnny. Don't miss this edition. Brad Underwood will be up here this morning after 8. I'm going to ask him, what sense does it ever make to recruit a freshman? And I'm serious. When you have 1,800 transfers, you just got to be great at evaluating everything. But why would you ever recruit a freshman? Let him go to ISU or Eastern. I'm sorry, but that's kind of the minor leagues now. That's not fair for ISU and Eastern. You can't think, well, I'll get the guy for 2 years and he'll be... That's what happens now. It's unbelievable. Bill?
Yeah, he wanted to comment on the watch that he still has.
You have a watch? Where'd you get it?
Stevie, I waited all my life to get a Rolex wristwatch, and I finally got it 3 years ago. And I wear it every day, and I like looking at it.
Wow. But you don't, it's kind of hard. Do you remember the big hand and the little hand still, Bill? Or
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
oh, yeah.
it's been a minute.
It's just a neat watch. I really enjoy it. It's they call it the Hulk. It has a green bezel. So,
But I mean,
and the
it's
value-
impeccable with the time, right? It's really good with time, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a good timepiece.
Well, Bill, you and I aren't as young as we used to be now. Remember?
I know it. You got that right.
Hey, thanks for sharing. Great to hear your voice, Bill Taylor. That's
have a good
awesome.
one.
But yeah, people, I guess, have watches.
Yeah, they do. And
But-
my husband's always collect them and gone to conventions and things like that. He's always, we have a few Rolexes. I think, of course, now it's slipping my mind. Aiden and Mike are probably hollering at the radio right now in the kitchen saying, "Oh, it's the Jean-Pierre."
Well, I mean,
something like
aren't
that. I
Rolexes
can't
still like a fortune?
Yeah, they're.
I mean, it's 30,
and they hold their value and all of that.
I mean, like
so.
$30,000-$40,000.
I mean, when you watch
Rolex,
Antique Roadshow and
Yeah.
things like that, we're always fascinated with what's coming in. And,
yeah, I mean, it's
and
I don't know.
pocket watches and things like that back in the 1700s.
Oh, sure. I mean, as collectors, I get it. but
Fascinating
as
the way
far
they
as-
made that back in the day.
As far as the day when we had to go by and change the batteries in the clocks and
Yeah.
change them, what a hassle to go. You do your fire alarms, your smoke detectors, but other than that, you don't have to do anything Saturday to Sunday. You just
Right.
go to sleep and put your phone on the charger.
I know.
That's it.
Paddock Philippe, thank you. That's the name of the fancy watch or something. Anyway.
Okay. All right.
So Pittsburgh over Tennessee yesterday, 20-16. LA Rams will be in Green Bay. The Bears are in New Orleans, and Indianapolis's Colts are in Carolina for a 3:00 game. The other games are at noon. NBA action tonight. We'll have Brooklyn and Chicago at 7. New York is in Milwaukee, 6:30, and Cleveland will take on the Indiana Pacers at 6 o'clock tonight. We'll have Illinois and Minnesota at 2:30. And we had some comments from Coach Brett Bielema. Huh?
Yeah, he was just talking yesterday just about, getting together and Johnny and Keith and putting the band back together tomorrow.
A good week of practice. Really like the focus of our guys this week. Obviously a rivalry game against Minnesota and where it is. First off, I want to give a shout out to, obviously he can't play in the first half of this game, but Johnny, to get recognized as one of the 12 finalists for the Lombardi, just speaks volumes about what he's done. I think the thing that's been impressive to me, every day we have NFL scouts come in. The part that jumps out to me, it's no secret that Johnny's a good player now, and he continues to be so productive in what he does. Just excited for him and what he's accomplished. Also within the framework of our team, Reggie practiced, Keith practiced. I think those guys, as long as they handle today's practice a little bit in these situations, it's a little bit about not what they do that day, but how they feel the next day. But excited where they're at. And then that really should play out for everybody injury-wise. It was colder here at the beginning of the week. I think game day there is supposed to be in their mid-40s. Have a little chance for some rain in the morning, but a great stadium over there, great opportunity. And obviously Minnesota sits at the top of the Big Ten West, and for us, to get where we want to be, we got to take one day at a time. I think to get to Saturday, this group's been doing that. Excited for the opportunity on Saturday.
All right, I think we have a really good chance. I really, really do.
Another Big Ten game that's trending. Purdue takes on number 3 Michigan at 6:30 tomorrow night, and they knew that Michigan people had been stealing signs, and they have some evidence of that. Evidently, the Big Ten League Commissioner Tony Petitti is doing Ann Arbor later today, so
Yeah.
we'll see if anything happens. Of course,
We'll
it's
see
the
if Jim
Wolverines,
Harbaugh
so.
is still at Michigan next year.
Right.
He could go to the NFL whenever he wants.
Illinois volleyball against Wisconsin tomorrow at 7 o'clock. We also had preseason action with the watch list for Terrence Shannon Jr. Terrence Shannon Jr. could get an award. And we've got EIU that we're playing on Monday at 7 o'clock. And we've got Coach Brad Underwood in about 45 minutes or so.
Stand by. We'll check your weather. Meteorologist Greg Soya. One more look here for the weekend for you.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Benham is Saturday. Not too shabby of a spell of weather for early November into the weekend. Going to be a bit windy for the day today with a partly sunny sky, but an afternoon temperature right around the 60-degree mark. South wind 15 to 25 miles per hour, but a good day's worth of drying and firming for outdoor work and harvest operations. Mostly cloudy for tonight. Couple sprinkles around. A low down to 45. Another dry day's worth of weather ahead for the day tomorrow. Partly sunny, lighter wind, and high to about 62. We'll level off into the 30s tomorrow night. Don't forget the time change here before we retire Saturday night. Back to standard time on Sunday. Partly sunny, couple sprinkles late in the day, and a high near 60 degrees. A little rain in the forecast here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Could even linger into Thursday. No heavy amounts, though, and many dry hours each day. Mild at 66 on Monday. A Tuesday high at 62. Lower 60s again for Wednesday. Then we'll cool off for the end part of the week with highs in the 50s on Thursday. Upper 40s next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Burger King's parent company, Restaurant Brands, is reporting weaker than expected sales growth for the summer quarter, up about 6%, though its earnings top forecasts. Apple's holiday forecast is dragging down the stock. It's predicting demand for iPhones, iPads, and wearable devices will come in about the same as a year ago. The holiday quarter is typically when Apple has its biggest sales of new iPhone models. The United Auto Workers Union is stepping up its effort to organize Toyota and other non-union U.S. auto factories. UAW President Shawn Fain says Toyota is now offering pay and benefit increases because he says the company knows we're coming for them. Wall Street will be reacting today to the October employment report. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
Jason in the House, the Jason Chaffetz podcast. There is always someone doing something stupid somewhere. Dive deeper than the headlines and the party lines as I take on American life, politics, and entertainment. Join me, Jason Chaffetz, every Wednesday as I shed light on the news and make some predictions along the way. You never know who will drop in. Subscribe now on foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts.
Every year on November 11th, the United States of America proudly celebrates Veterans Day. And at Muhammad Christian Church, we are very grateful for the men and the women who protect and preserve our freedom, and we recognize all veterans and salute our armed forces every day of the year. And this year, allow us to make those days special as we present the Muhammad Christian Church 18th Annual Living Flag. And you are cordially invited to join us as we are celebrating life, liberty, and the freedom of worship with our award-winning Living Flag celebration. This year, we are presenting our Living Flag on Friday, November 3rd at 7 p.m., Saturday, November 4th at 2 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and our finale, Sunday, November 5th at 5 p.m. And in our lobby after each performance, as you greet and thank our veterans and our active military, we will be serving dessert and refreshments. Muhammad Christian Church, 908 North Lake of the Woods Road, across from the Lake of the Woods Golf Course. And for more information, please visit muhammadchristian.org.
Hi, I'm Champaign County Clerk Aaron Ammons. Voting is a civic duty and responsibility that I work every day to protect and enhance as your county clerk. You have a choice to vote in person or by mail. The data shows that vote by mail is the most efficient way to vote. There are many reasons why, and here are a few. Instead of using your tax dollars for physical space and buying more election equipment, vote by mail allows us to reduce election costs. VBM increases overall voter turnout, and there's no need to schedule time off work or find transportation to cast your ballot. Just follow the step-by-step guidance we mail to you, fill out your ballot, and mail it back to our office. It's that easy. If you use one of the drop boxes located throughout the county, there's no charge for postage. Other states have universal VBM elections, and they see the savings and higher voter turnout we deserve. I strongly encourage you all to sign on to the permanent vote by mail list and vote from the comforts of your home. Go to ChampaignCountyClerkIL.gov and sign up now.
By now, you've all heard the expression, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 for PDR Automotive. They are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR. But who are they? They, the PDR staff, understand that a name is only as good as the people that represent it. The PDR staff has more than 335 years of combined automotive experience. Several employees now on staff for more than 25 years. PDR, more than just a name. Family owned and operated, now celebrating over 50 years in business.
These days, it seems like...
All right, it is 7:24. Again, Ed Martin, Brother Johnny on a special Friday edition because Ed was sick on Wednesday. That'll be coming up. All right, so IHSA football playoffs at Unity playing at home against the number 1 seed DuQuoin.
That's a 2 o'clock game tomorrow.
I understand all of DuQuoin will be here, including the band.
Okay.
Yep.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I think it's $6. There's no passes and stuff like that. So it's a great time in Rocket Nation.
No, if you've not been there at Unity High School, it's like a small college. The field is artificial turf. It's the show, man.
And Aiden always has a couple bucks for the pork chop sandwich.
Well, only a couple bucks?
I mean, he has $20.
Okay.
Because he loves our concession stand.
Good. Well, it's a good concession stand.
Salt Fork and Cesar Valier or something like that. That's at 2 o'clock. And then SJO and Roxana still in it for the 3 o'clock game. STM and Ridgewood also on the playoff list I have here.
Okay, good luck to our area teams. Rooting for you. All of our guests appear on the Tammons Towing phone line. Brad Underwood will be coming up after 8 o'clock this morning.
That's right.
And
Illinois and EIU on Monday. In fact, you could text IL or EIU if you wanted to try to go to that 7 o'clock game on Monday. Maybe we'll have a pair of tickets we could get you. And I know that fan bus leaves from Pia's, and that's always a half hour before tip-off as we get into the season.
But you got to get a ticket to get on that.
That's right.
And then they're going to bring you back to Pia's.
It's like the first 50 people then.
Right. It's just easier. There's a circle drive, get off. Yeah, it's nice.
And then you leave within a half hour after the final buzzer.
Yeah.
So it's a cool way to do it. But again, if you do have your tickets to the game and you go for some food and beverages before the game, you go up to the bar, and I think they do give you a little ticket.
Okay.
So that you can be one of the first 50. Or
there's that hot tip. Okay, again, we're going to break one more time, come back with Ed and Johnny. Again, Brad Underwood after 8.
The World Series, not so much. The average was 9.11 million on Wednesday night, but it did surge up to 14.27 million for the final 3 outs.
I watched it.
Right.
Yeah. So I was one of the 14 million because the energy, jumping up and down on each other, woohoo, group picture, all that.
Right.
It just. Oh, by the way, January 12th is the Cardinal Caravan.
Okay.
Just FYI, it's Martin Luther. Is that Martin Luther King?
Hotel and Coffee.
It feels early.
It is going into the Martin Luther King Monday.
Usually, I'm thinking Martin Luther King holidays like 17th or 18th. This is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, I guess. Okay.
Right.
January 12th, I just got notified by the Cardinals.
Hotel, and usually noon for us.
And I tell you, it's the weirdest.
Doors open at 11.
The weirdest feeling, though, around Cardinal Nation. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Their arms are folded. This is the year. The hot seat's on. John Mazaliak, Ale Marmol, the whole thing has to do better this year for sure. You just didn't see it. We were favored. The Cardinals are favored to win the Central Division and finished last. That's shocking.
Right.
Particularly these spoiled Cardinal fans are going, wait a minute. What do you mean we're not 20 over 500, huh?
Right.
No, so it's like there's no question less enthusiasm for St. Louis Cardinal baseball. That's first time that I've experienced that in 14 years.
Right.
Since I switcheroonied. Okay, I'll switch again, people. All right, 7:28. We'll be right back and get Brother
Just follow
Johnny.
the money, Stevie.
And we'll get Brother Johnny and Ed Martin
Sounds
coming
good.
up. All right.
Hi, this is Chris Jackson with Kramer Siding and Window. And whatever your project, you can count on Kramer Siding to offer you the best products backed by the best warranties in the business and a lifetime of great customer service. And right now, you can save 10% on roofing, sunrooms, and decks, get 15% off gutter helmet, and you can save 25% on preservation siding, windows, and doors. So call today or visit us at kramersiding.com and let's get started on your project.
These days, it seems like bank names are changing faster than a forecast in February. But at Iroquois Federal, we're still the same community bank we've always been. For more than 135 years, we've built relationships by helping build the things that matter, whether it's a business, a back porch, or the building blocks of a better life. If you're looking for a bank that's here for the long haul, swing by today and see for yourself why different rules. Iroquois Federal, still friendly, still local, still here.
Tabbins Towing team of experienced tow professionals is seeking others with CDLs, previous tow experience, and or strong interest in serving others. Please visit our career page at tabbinstowing.com.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
If you need a new business sign or signage for your golf outing, we can do it and help you get noticed. Hi, this is Kirk Lehman, owner of Aftershock Decals and Design, and we can produce any kind of signage you want with our graphic design team. You want a custom design? We are here for you, and we are easy to work with, I promise. So visit us at AftershockDD.com to get a quote and get noticed. That's AftershockDD.com. Get noticed.
Amazing how popular NFL football is. A great deal of it is gambling and fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have our teams, but there's no question we're rooting for jerseys more with fantasy.
You're right about that.
It's changed a lot, but boy, the volume of people into football on the NFL level is amazing. Illinois tomorrow, 2:30, Minnesota. Go Illini. Be right back.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's in Israel, reiterating support for the military operation against Hamas terrorists and pushing for more humanitarian aid in Gaza.
We also are thinking every single moment of our hostages.
241 hostages held in Gaza, according to the Israeli military. 10 are believed to be American citizens. Former President Trump appeals a gag order banning public statements about potential witnesses and the special counsel prosecuting his federal election conspiracy case.
The Trump legal team argues the gag order unconstitutionally bristles with hostility to President Trump's viewpoint and violates his First Amendment rights. Former president's team says if the appeals court turns them down, they will take the gag order to the U.S. Supreme Court.
Fox's Jack Callahan. The Labor Department reports 150,000 new jobs added to the economy last month and an unemployment rate at 3.9%. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. With thousands of smartphone users in Illinois suing Motorola Mobility, the Chicago Tribune reports a lawsuit filed this week accuses the Chicago-based company of breaking its own arbitration provision by refusing to pay a $7 million filing fee in a mass arbitration claim. That arbitration action claims Motorola violated the Illinois Biometric Information Privacy Act. A Decatur man facing prison time after he was convicted of having child porn. A federal jury found Brian Lewis guilty of possession of child pornography. Police say Lewis had porn on his cellular phone. He'll be sentenced March the 15th of next year. Open enrollment underway for the Affordable Care Act health insurance marketplace. Illinois residents will have an additional month to enroll in a health plan through January 15. The Department of Insurance says there's now 12 issuers offering ACA marketplace health plans in the state of Illinois. If you'd like more information, you can contact the ACA or go to their website. You're up to date on the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign and Benham is Saturday. Not too shabby of a spell of weather for early November into the weekend. It'll be a bit windy for the day today with a partly sunny sky, but an afternoon temperature right around the 60-degree mark. South wind 15 to 25 miles per hour, but a good day's worth of drying and firming for outdoor work and harvest operations. Mostly cloudy for tonight. Couple sprinkles around. A low down to 45. Another dry day's worth of weather ahead for the day tomorrow. Partly sunny, lighter wind, and high to about 62. We'll level off into the 30s tomorrow night. Don't forget the time change here before we retire Saturday night. Back to standard time on Sunday. Partly sunny, couple sprinkles late in the day, and the high near 60 degrees. A little rain in the forecast here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Could even linger into Thursday. No heavy amounts, though, and many dry hours each day. Mild at 66 on Monday. A Tuesday high at 62. Lower 60s again for Wednesday. Then we'll cool off for the end part of the week with highs in the 50s on Thursday. Upper 40s next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate that. ESPN 93.5. It's Friday, so it's a little weird, but here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, a special Wednesday show edition on Friday. ESPN 93.5. From the Eagle Forum Legal Defense Fund, Phyllis Schlafly's final hire. Historic Phyllis Schlafly hired Ed Martin. Are you feeling better, Ed?
A little bit better, guys. Thank you. Sorry for the delay. I had picked up a little Halloween fever. I don't know. I got a little bit of a cold. But I'm feeling better, and we got a lot to talk about. So glad to be back.
Brother Johnny.
Yeah, glad to hear your voice.
Back in New Orleans, Johnny drove all the way back, and you said late at night traffic is nil.
Right.
That's a good time to drive from about 10 o'clock to 3 because nobody's out there.
That's right.
Nice.
I like
nice open road. I'll take an open road and dark over crowded trucks in daytime. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Ed. I don't want to get you fired up too much coming off a fever.
Yeah, sure.
But what would
Good
you
luck.
if you had if you had a parent teacher conference like you have with your kids, or you had with your kids? I presume you still have a few of them. You go attend, they would go through the checklist of things. Joe Biden, 1 year out of the election for 2024. What would you tell Joe Biden's parents that little Joe is doing well?
Not much except this. I mean, the one thing that he's doing really well is he's continuing, however it's worked out, he's continuing to have the media and the general consensus of big media and big tech to cover for him. We're almost in World War III. We really, at this point, have completely politicized justice in our legal system. And you can say, well, it's a state case in New York, or it's a state matter here or there. But when you're in the party structure, these leaders follow the leader. They follow what's going on. And so in that sense, Biden has been able to keep that going. We now have evidence in the last 36 or maybe 48 hours of large-scale fraud in the elections in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And let me just tell you guys, I know you guys are from down south and out in the Midwest, but I grew up in Jersey. There's not 8 Republicans in Connecticut, and if they are, they're liberals anyway. So when they're cheating, it's Democrat on Democrat in Bridgeport, Connecticut. So they're cheating, and that's been admitted now. Wisconsin, I think there's a movement to impeach the election head up there because they found that there was all sorts of impropriety. So the narrative should be falling apart, except if you're Joe Biden, you can continue to get covered for. And in the face of all this, guys, the border's still open. The same people that went across the border into Israel and slaughtered women, raped women, slaughtered women and children, the same people are being allowed to walk across the border of Mexico to America and enter our nation. And we're going to be stunned in, 5 years, 2 years, 8 months, next week, when these people do the same thing they just did to Israelis, to Americans. So, and yet, as you point out, Joe Biden he's putting out a 1-year plan to run for president, and he's going to do this and this and this, and you're like, what? How can this be? And they don't seem worried. And if they don't seem worried, it's because, you know why? They know they got the game rigged. And so what do they care? They can run a ham sandwich.
They're coming for Joe because they need him. I would tell Joe, I'd say to Joe's parents that, Joe's hanging around with the wrong people. And they're using him to do things that may destroy us all. So see if you can get him away from those people and away from the Oval Office. And then I think he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But, it's not been a good record. The results have been pretty much catastrophic. And we are very strong because we're still kind of moving along and can look at it and kind of chuckle because we don't want to cry. But the trend is pretty frightening, Eddie. We can't, Steve has said this a number of times, we can't go 4 more years like this without having it directly impact us much, much further than it has so far.
Well, and Stevie J, let me rant for one more 30-second spot. I mean, the Wall Street Journal does a headline. It says the economy's going great, and yet people are unsatisfied. What the hell are they talking about? What economy are they looking at? The economy may be going fine for the people in charge. Joe Biden's getting really rich. He got another 10% for the big guy check that came out. But the rest of us are looking at the cost of gas, the cost of our home insurance, the cost of borrowing money going through the roof. And we're sitting here saying, what's our future? It's pretty bleak for our kids. So I think, to Johnny's point, you go 4 more years of this, you're going to start having people be really dissatisfied in a way I'm not sure we've ever seen since the 1770s. People that are just saying, I can see it's all stacked against me, and be frustrated. And that's a real danger.
What's your take on the new speaker, Ed?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think Mike Johnson's doing the best he can to change the dynamic a little bit. I mean, he passed an Israeli funding bill. It's a lot of money, and he did it, but he did it and paid for it by taking money out of the IRS. And this is absolutely not acceptable to the uniparty in Washington. If you actually spend money and pay for it by cutting somewhere else, this is offensive. And so they've gone crazy. The House has passed it. The Republicans and Democrats in the Senate said it's a non-starter. Joe Biden said he'll veto it. So much for Israel's in an existential crisis. So I think he's changing some things up. I don't think he's going to be as dramatic as people realize. I think the system hems him in. I hope we do better on the two fronts of impeaching Joe Biden and really putting a nail in that coffin, and also in the January 6th stuff. But we'll see. But I like what he's doing. I like that he talks about praying all the time. I mean, people say, oh, well, what is all that? As you guys know, it matters. If you talk about who you are, it matters, and it matters a lot. So that's good. We'll see after that what happens.
Yeah, I think he's really good, Steve. But hemmed in is a good expression, Eddie. Hemmed in. He can walk a fine line, Steve. He has 4 or 5 people he can make mad, and they're just going to throw him out. So he can't really say much very strong about anything, and I think it's good just focus on his faith, because if a few people start thinking a little bit about that, it can only get better. Yeah. So he's a good man.
Isn't Speaker of the House these days kind of like riding a bull in a rodeo? I mean, how long can you stay on? How long?
Well, guys, I make a little different point. I think your listeners need to know that. I mean, that was the Republicans that threw out McCarthy were generally those guys were really not normal, meaning they did something crazy. Usually, Republicans and Democrats, they want the power, and so I actually think that Johnson, he can hold the conservatives. He met with the Freedom Caucus yesterday. I mean, things like this. He met with the Freedom Caucus. McCarthy never did that, because he didn't want to seem like he was talking to the conservatives. So but Johnson's going to hold the conservatives for a while, and the moderates just want power and money. And they get power and money by staying in the majority. So I think he'll have a little bit more leeway in terms of, he wrote, yesterday he said he's going to do something on the spending bills that'll be like rolling CRs, which makes it so everybody has to vote on each of them and get on record on what they're funding. Look, that's not going to save America, but it's a start. By the way, I do want to point out, Stevie J, one thing. Down in Texas, Ken Paxton, the Attorney General, gets notification last Friday that the feds are destroying the wall on the border that the Texans built, razor wire and others. And so he goes into court and he says, you can't do that. And by Monday, he had an order blocking the federal government and Joe Biden from destroying the border wall. That's playing offense, right? Getting in there and playing offense. Now, we'll see what happens, but we need more people thinking offense. I don't know if Speaker Johnson's going to have, Mike Johnson's going to have as many ways to play offense. But we got to help him if we can.
But that's interesting, Ed. Just by the way, with all the things that we could be working on, we're fighting our own government for our lives, and that's pretty sad. And Sharon, can you imagine Stevie tearing down the border wall? Can you imagine?
No, I can't. And really, in this day and age, Brother Johnny and Ed Martin, Tapman's Toy and Phone Line, ESPN 93.5. In this day and age, talk about a line in the sand, the red line. When you have 8 members of Congress not condemning the slaughter of Jewish people in southern Israel, just condemning Hamas for the attack, they didn't vote for condemning the. I don't get it. Any normal human would say no matter what. No.
Well, let's put a finer point on it and see if we can get it knocked off of social media and everything else. And this one will really cause you consternation. But can somebody name? Tell your listeners. Somebody name the Islamic leader that said out loud, "I condemn the Hamas killers. What they did was un-Islamic. That was not what Muslims should do." I haven't seen one. So if it's a religion of peace, and I'm as conditioned as anyone. As a college kid, I took a course on Islam. I'm as conditioned as anyone to say that all men are created in the image and likeness of God, even if they have bad beliefs. I'm supposed to say, but if it's a religion of peace, where are the Islamic leaders condemning terror? They haven't. And so my point is what you're saying is, if you can't name evil, which is what Hamas slaughtering innocents is, That's evil. If you can't name evil, don't tell me you're going to give me good judgments on other stuff because you can't name evil. So I already know you're off base. So that's what we're living with, whether it's in the Congress or in the West or in the media. Where's the media saying to Imam gobbledygook, what's the deal? And when they bring out Vice President Kamala Harris and she says we need an Islamophobia center, you say to yourself, in what universe, woman, are you talking like that? And we all just go, oh, well, that's really weird. She's really out of touch. No, the world is burning and evil is present, and we're fiddling with the curtains.
Well, I got to say one thing, Eddie. The American people are aware of a problem, and I think they're starting to make the connection between the Democrats who are progressive and the calamity around us. And for example, now Louisiana doesn't have total blanket mail-in ballots. We don't have the drop boxes, and we don't have same-day registration. So you're going to get a pretty good vote. There are no Republicans who lost their races against the Democrats. They're gone. The Democrats, when I moved down here 30 years ago, well, it was 40. It was 2.7 million Democrats, Stevie, and 700,000 Republicans. Every single state office is Republican, and the House and the Senate are two-thirds majority. Because when you got a fair vote, I think the majority are going to say we got to change directions, and that's a good indication, Eddie. I don't think we're crazy down here.
Well, Johnny, you and David Vitter have got to be given credit for the flip of Louisiana the way it is now, because you worked for that in the 1990s and got term limits. And look at the House now.
I don't think anybody needs credit, because what we needed was to change direction. Well, it took 30 years, Eddie.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you something. The term limit thing was big because all those fiefdoms that you create, whether you're Republican or Democrat, that doesn't matter. But you're going to stay in that one seat because you just do enough for the people who you need in that area to get elected. And you just kind of become corrupt. That's just how. Look at our Congress now with the people been there 40 or 50 years, and and now it's new ideas. People know they're not staying long. Most of them run because there's some kind of issue that really means something to them, and they want to change something that's just not right, and it works. I'm telling you. And I was amazed, though, Eddie, that the clean sweep that we had here, and now we have talk about the red line. Well, it's Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. So we got a pretty good red.
I just want to encourage. I want to encourage you in that, and also in what you and I have talked about for years now. Every Wednesday is you at the very beginning of that. You said if you have a free and fair election. So you're right. If you have a free and fair election, if we have one, I mean, if we have one in 2024, do I think the people will vote against Biden? Sure. Do I think at this point that the powers that be realize that they're going to have to fix the election again because you can't vote for Biden? You just gotta somehow get this game and make it look like he won somehow, because nobody can pick that, I don't think. So yeah, I think you're right. I mean, look, I just think that there's got to be a number of changes, and the changes have to be systemic, not just around the edges. For example, we're going towards the brink of a debt collapse, right? I mean, we're up to $33 trillion in money owed. I mean, and we're going faster and faster. I'm not an economist. I don't understand a lot of it, but it can't work forever. I mean, and when it doesn't work, it may just be inflation that is the penalty that we, the middle class, pay, because they're inflating us out of this to some extent. But I don't think you can inflate your way out of $33 trillion plus another $20 trillion in end of life expenses. So we're going to face some real crisis, and you know what? We got like 89-year-old guys in office, Mitch McConnell, and brain dead people from Pennsylvania like Fetterman, and convicted or unconvicted felons like Menendez, and they're making the decisions. Does anybody feel like we're going to have serious people addressing serious problems? That doesn't look like it. It's not. I don't see Ben Franklin. I don't see James Madison here. So that part of it is a problem.
Yeah, well, and you're so right about just you get to the point where a little new blood helps. Stevie, there's 350 million people here. What I've noticed in Louisiana is the people who now come and go into the legislature, there's some really great folks. So, some of them are 27 years old, 32 years old, and they want to work, and they've got great ideas, and they're new blood. Their family's never been in politics before, and it helps. That's the melting pot.
Yeah.
You get stuck with somebody in there 50 years, and it's the same old, and there's no change in anything or making any improvements.
All right,
and so.
Before we let you go, because Ed had a fever this week, we're going to end on a lighter thing. Bobby Knight passed away this week.
No.
And he was 83 years old. And I've got a couple of clips. This one's a little longer, but it's back in 1984 when he had Michael Jordan on the Olympic team? Whatever, the Pan American, Olympic team.
They won gold.
All right, so here's Bobby Knight talking about Michael Jordan, and then I got one 40-second clip, Johnny, of Bobby Knight saying goodbye to Lou Henson, who we loved and dearly. So stand by for Bobby Knight talking about Michael Jordan in the 84 Olympics.
Today. When today's over, we have to work to change it. But you, I think, have got to really be a flexible leader if you're going to be an effective leader. I walked into the locker room after the first half of our game with Spain in 1984 for the gold medal. We're ahead by 29 points. We've played basketball as well as the game can be played. Michael Jordan has played 12 minutes. Out of the 20, he has 11 rebounds, 9 assists, and 19 points in 12 minutes. In my opinion, there's nobody that's ever played anything that can compare to Michael Jordan, with the possible exception of Jack Nicklaus and Babe Ruth. Michael Jordan is just the best there ever was at what he does by a considerable margin. So I'm walking across the floor with this 29-point lead as I look at the scoreboard, and I'm a great believer in the best 3 minutes of the game for us has got to be the first 3 minutes of the second half. But what the hell am I going to say? Hey, we got to get better. We're 29 points ahead. We got to win by 59. These kids are going to be a little bit satisfied with themselves. They know how well they've played. And when I get to the locker room, I still haven't come up with an answer. I open the door, and the first guy I see is Jordan sitting in front of his locker. Idea light flashes. I say to myself, I'm going to get on Jordan's ass a little bit. And everybody else is going to say, God, if he's upset with Jordan, how's he feel about me? 12 minutes, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 9 assists, and I have the stat sheet in my hand, and I walk over in front of Jordan, and I look down at him and I say, Mike, when the hell are you going to set a screen? We got 4 guys out there screening when you're in the game, screening to get you open, screening to get each other open. Haven't seen you set a screen yet. The only way I get all 5 guys screening, Mike, is to get you the hell out of the game. Now, when are you going to set a screen? All you've been doing so far, rebounding, passing, and scoring. You need to screen, Mike. Now, Jordan, you've all seen the grin. I mean, it's the greatest grin in the world. Doesn't quite use all of his grin in this circumstance, but he looks up at me and he grins a little bit and he says, Coach, didn't I see last week where you said I was the quickest player you'd ever been around? I said, Mike, what the hell has that got to do with you screening? Coach, I think I'm setting them quicker than you can see them out there. Well, I was flexible enough to look at Jordan and say, then I'd slow him down a little bit so I can see him. These are the things that I think.
Unbelievable stuff from Michael Jordan and Bobby Knight back in the day, Johnny. That was pretty good.
Man, no, those were good days. Knight was a good coach. He proved it once and for all when he went down to Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah, Texas Tech. And Johnny and I know the whole Hensons and Lou Henson Court, and Mary's still with us, thankfully, but Lou passed away a few years ago. And Lou Henson, as he retired, went to Indiana, and Bobby Knight had a presentation.
During those 21 years, the players on both teams have shown what college basketball, the very best of college basketball. There's never been an incident with players in any one of our games. On the back of this chair, there will be a plate that simply says, to Lou Henson, an excellent coach, a tough opponent, best wishes from Indiana basketball. And we haven't agreed on everything over the years, but I'm going to miss you.
Big ovation. And then Lou grabs the microphone. They hug.
Thank you. Is this really the Bob Knight that I know?
That was pretty good. That's pretty good. That was pretty good. That was back when he was retiring and one more time at IU. But those guys.
I got to tell Eddie, I don't know if you know it, but when Lou beat Bobby at Champaign, he was not happy and didn't shake hands. And Stevie called me Thursday and said, "Hey, John, you should see Knight. He's going crazy. He's going to blow. They play Purdue Saturday. You probably got to watch it." And that's when he threw the chair.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Steve called it.
I got to see, I was working the scores table. I got to see 20 head-to-head matchups with Lou and Bobby. And they were the best of friends early on when Lou came to Illinois. But when Lou started beating them, things changed a lot. And it was fascinating to watch the dynamics. One time it was a national game on a Sunday with the auxiliary lights, and it was CBS national game. Everybody's watching this thing, and the Illini come down the court, and they go over and back. They do. But it was 5 seconds later, Bobby goes to half court and starts waving his arm, going over and back. The great Tom Rucker, if people remember that official, blew his whistle 5 seconds later and said, "Over and back."
Yeah.
And Lou Henson was like shot out of a rocket, runs to half court and goes, "Don't let Bobby call it. You can't let Bobby call it." It was something. Anyway, guys, appreciate both of you. We'll talk next Wednesday. Ed, I'm glad you're feeling better. And how can people connect with you, and how can they join your prayer group today at 10?
Yeah, thank you. 10 o'clock Central Time. You know, if you email me, ed@phyllisschlafly.com, I'll make sure to add you, and if you have prayer requests, you can send them to us at 10 o'clock Central Time every Friday, ed@phyllisschlafly.com. And then we're over, phyllisschlafly.com is our website, and at Eagle Ed Martin on Twitter, we're in the fray. You'll see a lot of the stuff we're doing, and thanks, guys. Great to be with you as always.
And Johnny, it was great having you in Philo, Johnny, and I kind of missed you yesterday. I thought you were late for work. I didn't know where you were. So.
Well, I missed Philo already, so it's great to be there.
All right.
All right, it's going to be warmer. It's going to be warmer.
Yeah, I bet now. Thank you, Brother Johnny. Ed Martin, ESPN 93.5 on the Tapman's Joint phone line. Okay, the news will be next, and then Illinois basketball coach Brad Underwood jumps on with us. So looking forward to talking to Coach.
Go Illini.
Got Eastern Illinois, and the season begins for real.
That's Monday at 7.
Yep, Monday at 7. So getting ready for that. All right, the news will be coming up next. Glad you're listening. Fall back on the clocks 1 hour when you go to bed Saturday night. Fall black. You don't have to change anything because your phone will do it probably. 7:58.
With the leaves and temperatures beginning to fall, it's time to make sure those furnaces are in great running order. Get that furnace tuned up so it doesn't let you down on the cold nights. Dogtown is the People's Choice #1 HVAC company again in 2023. Ask about the current 0% financing offer on all Lennox high comfort systems and single component units for qualifying applicants. The number's 217-841-4728. Dogtown Heating, Air, and Plumbing, your home's best friend.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com. Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he has a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
Habitat for Humanity of Champaign County has been bringing people together to build homes, communities, and hope since 1991. To date, Habitat of Champaign has built 118 homes, but the need for safe, decent, and affordable housing is greater than ever. When you donate your time or money to Habitat or make a purchase from the Habitat Restore, you are empowering local families and helping them achieve the strength, stability, and self-reliance they need to build a bright future for themselves. For more information about Habitat for Humanity of Champaign, please visit cuhabitat.org.
Less hiring, more unemployment. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's in a report just out this morning.
There were 150,000 new jobs created last month, fewer than expected. The unemployment rate rose from 3.8 to 3.9%. Also, job creation for August and September has been revised lower by 101,000.
Fox's Janika Sola. That report could lift stocks futures higher before the opening bell. Secretary of State Antony Blinken visiting Israel for a third time since Hamas's terror attack started a war.
How Israel does this matters, and it is very important that when it comes to the protection of civilians who are caught in the crossfire of Hamas's making, that everything be done to protect them.
Blinken's visit comes as fighting rages on inside the Gaza Strip behind me. We've heard small arms fired today. The Israelis are updating their death toll to 24 soldiers since they launched the ground portion of this war. 28 days in, factions inside Gaza still maintain their abilities to fire rockets. There have been sirens sounding in southern Israel today.
That's Fox's Trey Yanks near the border. Officials in Gaza say more than 9,000 Palestinians have been killed. House Republicans have approved $14 billion in military aid just for Israel. GOP Congressman Mike Gallagher just told Fox.
I think we need a separate track of negotiations for things like Ukraine in return for meaningful border policy changes.
But the House bill may go nowhere in the Senate because they want to bundle Israel and Ukraine aid together. At the civil trial in New York, former President Trump calls rigged, denying his company committed fraud like the judge ruled.
Eric Trump, who now runs the Trump Organization, is due back on the witness stand today. New York Attorney General Letitia James is suing the Trumps and the Trump Organization, accusing them of inflating the former president's net worth in order to get favorable deals on insurance and loans.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. So far, Eric and Donald Trump Jr. have distanced themselves in testimony from financial statements. America's listening to Fox News.
My dad has a cold, but also has high blood pressure. That's why I got him Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure for max strength daytime relief. Unlike some ordinary cold medicines, it's specially formulated for people like my dad. DayQuil High Blood Pressure is sugar-free, alcohol-free, and decongestant-free.
Vicks DayQuil High Blood Pressure. The daytime, non-drowsy, coughing, aching, fever, sore throat, cold, and flu for people with high blood pressure.
Like my dad.
Medicine. Use as directed.
Jesse Kelly here. Do you feel protected? My personal protection plan is owning gold. The Oxford Gold Group helps you buy gold to have on hand or convert it into your 401k. If things get weird, I have gold on hand. I like that. You can buy coins or convert part of your 401k with the Oxford Gold Group. It's easy and safe. 833-995-GOLD. That's 833-995-GOLD. 833-995-GOLD.
He's turned on his fellow ex-cops. A former Memphis police officer, Desmond Mills Jr., has taken a plea deal, admitting his guilt in Tyree Nichols' beating death at a traffic stop in January. Nichols' mother, Rovon Wells, says,
"This is very difficult, but I'm hoping that Mr. Mills, it was his conscience that allowed him to make this plea agreement."
Mills faces up to 15 years in prison on federal and state charges and will testify against 4 others. There will also be police against police testimony in Louisville, where a jury's been seated for the federal civil rights trial stemming from Breonna Taylor's death.
Louisville Metro police officer Chris Kitchen will testify he was shocked by former detective Brett Hankison's blindly firing 10 shots into Breonna Taylor's home in a neighboring apartment in March of 2020. Hankison is facing 2 federal counts of deprivation of rights in the botched raid of Taylor's home in the middle of the night, in which cops busted down her door to serve a search warrant related to a drug dealer who lived 10 miles away. Prosecutors calling out Hankison's behavior as going against police training, allegedly bouncing with excitement before the raid. Attorneys for the ex-Louisville cop argue he had heard gunfire and instinctively was trying to protect his fellow officers. Hankison was previously acquitted on state charges connected to the raid. Matt Napolitano, Fox News.
Amid all the good things AI can do, there's worry about the bad, and here's another example.
Parents of girls at a New Jersey high school say their daughters were humiliated after learning fake pornographic images of themselves were generated with artificial intelligence and circulated among classmates. The incident happened at Westfield High School, according to the Wall Street Journal. The school district would not say whether the boy who created them has been disciplined, but parents did say that police reports were filed.
That's Sue Guzman. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Here's a check of local news. U of I is one of 31 regional tech hubs spurring innovation across the nation. The Biden-Harris administration named Illinois Fermentation and Agricultural Biomanufacturing one of the many leading the charge in biomanufacturing. Researchers convert grains like corn and soybeans into high-value goods. A new kitchen in Brazil helping disadvantaged women has a link to Central Illinois. Urbana Rotary Club members work with their partner club in Canela, Brazil to build a space to help women develop culinary skills. The idea began when an Urbana Rotarian had a chance meeting with his Brazilian counterpart. 2 schools in Coles County teaming up with a business to help college students with tuition. Eastern Illinois University and Lakeland College, part of the Rural King Scholarship Program. Applications accepted from Rural King employees looking to further their education. The scholarships range from $2,500 to full rides. If you're curious, give those folks a call. That's what's happening. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you, Jim Miller. Our meteorologist, Greg Solier, with the weekend weather and falling back on the clocks and stuff, brought to you by the Urbana Park District.
And they remind you that it's a great time of year to start lining up some terrific programs, some indoor things, the pickleball, and the leaves look so great right now. Get out into some of the recreational spaces and find out the details at urbanaparks.org.
Well, Mr. Meteorologist, science man, what you seeing here for our weekend, my friend?
Well, in a relatively good order, nice return on temperatures here, back to a little above average. We'll continue that trend into early next week. A minor setback end portion of next week. No big major wet weather systems or storms to contend with around here. Storm track taking on more of a southerly route as it hits the Mississippi and points to the south and east from there, so they need that in some of the worst drought areas. Meanwhile, our drought monitor from yesterday showing a big improvement. Abnormally dry, drought-ridden grounds gone, still lingering just slightly east of the Wabash, more so south of I-70, but over much of northern and central Illinois, we are certainly in good shape. Same with temperatures this morning, with readings over at Willard and Savoy now, checking in with 36-degree reading there, 40 now at Rantoul, up close to 60 today with a partly sunny, windy day's worth of weather, fair amount of high mid-level clouds on the northern horizon and up overhead in some spots. That's all we expect today. South winds 15 to 25, a couple of sprinkles tonight, little backdoor cool front turns the winds into the west-northwest tomorrow, 45 tonight, still 62 tomorrow, and a partly sunny sky. By late in the day, it's a light northeast wind. That'll bring down some slightly cooler air tomorrow night, lows in the 30s. On Sunday, the sundown at 4:46 in the afternoon, partly sunny, high near 60, maybe a sprinkle late in the day. A couple of rainy spells, quarter inch or under that if you add everything up for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, with temperatures in the lower 60s Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 50s Thursday, upper 40s next Friday. The following week, signs of a warm-up beginning to spread back into the Midwest. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, meteorologist Greg Solier.
The head basketball coach at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign is Mr. Brad Underwood. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good to have you on our show. We appreciate it. I was just lamenting about the college basketball game and how things have changed. You'd have to talk me into ever recruiting a freshman again, Brad. I mean, I like the older guys, and I kind of like the book. I mean, why would I get an 18-year-old? We're going to have a 23-year-old that scored 20 a game. Why would I ever do that?
Yeah, it's truly why the portal is really good for coaches. and it's like a buffet. You can just go get what you want. And we wanted to get old, and we were very matter of fact about what we wanted. We did that. We got 3 grad transfers. We got 2 guys that have a ton of experience, and we improved our shooting, which was a key goal. And yeah, you just get there's a big discrepancy now with obviously the COVID years, bonus years still being in play. You got a huge age difference between an 18-year-old and you've got some guys that are 25, 26 years old still playing college athletics, and I like those. It's been a very fun process to this point with this group.
And I sense that you love putting the puzzle together, figuring the pieces and what goes where. I think you really like that.
Yeah, it's one of the things I enjoy every year with every team is just trying to figure it out. It's just who plays well together, who doesn't, who gives you punch off the bench. Do you want all 5 defenders, or do you want 5 offensive guys? It's just a jigsaw puzzle that I really enjoy tinkering around with, and it's become harder to do because you're trying to get to know certain personalities in a much quicker time frame than previously. You used to know kids, and you back in the old days you signed 1 or 2, and maybe 3 was a big class, and you already knew most of the pieces were put together. And today it's scrambled.
Yeah.
All those pieces are all over the table, and you don't know until sometimes the start of school what you got.
Well, I tell you what you did with Maui and Bill Self in Kansas. It was an awesome overall $1 million plus to the really cause. I know it was important to you. I think it was awesome. I think we should maybe look at stuff like that every year if it's possible. The NCAA is okay, but as far as the game, I understand it was exhibition, all that. And I know it didn't count, but it kind of counted.
Yeah,
it just felt like, okay, we can play. We can play with anybody. I mean, it felt good.
Yeah, you learn so much in those, and I'd be remiss if I didn't thank all the fans who purchased the tickets and allowed that to be a very, very successful event, and we all a lot of us have enjoyed the fruits of Maui, going over and having a great place to vacation, and so I do want to thank our fans, but and really want to thank Bill for coming back.
Yeah,
and it was a secret scrimmage the way it started, and here we are. And, it's no different than last year. Last year nobody got to see it. It makes our team better. It makes their team better. You find out a lot. And we just did it in a game format this year, and it gets talked about a little more. But a lot of really good things about it, and some things that we know we've got to continue to get better. And it's a starting point. This happened to come against a really good team with a really good coach.
All right. Well, so I saw a guy that used to look like Ty Rogers on the floor. What happened to him, man? What he looks is slender. He's slender. It's crazy.
He's lost a lot of weight. I could sit here and talk for hours about Adam Fletcher and the job he does, and but it's so detailed, and you've got to get guys that buy into that, and Ty has done that. I think he's down 18 pounds.
Oh my man. Well, if he brings it up, that's great, and I still don't feel as good as Io, but or Trent, but yeah. Anyway, when you get him posted up with a point guard, good luck. Forget about it, right? I mean,
he's so strong. The Harris kid, who's I think one of the best point guards in the country, on the second play of the game, he ran by our bench and he said, "Oh my gosh, coach, is he strong?" Mm-hmm. And that's a fourth year guy, and Ty's a really, really good player, a great athlete. He's been sensational all fall.
And Terrence and Coleman, I mean, you got some pieces, and I like the guy from Southern Damascus. I mean, boy, I tell you what, this is exciting. And again, watching you on the sidelines, watching the ball game, I'm voting for 23 years old every time now. I mean, it just felt so much better. I'm sorry, I love the young guys, but come on, these guys they've been there, they've done this.
You know, and I mentioned it, our attention to detail and practice. These guys are just so mature, and you know, they know how to practice. Our practices are much more efficient. They know what to look for, and we don't have to repeat things 10 times. You know, they just know because they've had the experience, and you know, as have our returners now, and so it's a very efficient way to be a basketball coach when you're old and have knowledge, and then this group's a really high character group. They've got great guys, and so it's enjoyable.
Well, it's a fun start. We're looking forward to Eastern. We're looking forward to Marquette and all these games coming up. What are you trying to learn early yet? When now it starts counting, what you're still looking for the same kind of things?
Well, we've got to guard better. One, I'm looking for some defensive prowess. I didn't like that very much. You know, I used this with our team after the Kansas game. I said if we played that game in Allen Fieldhouse, we didn't guard well enough to win. And we have to shift our mentality. That comes. We're still making way too many mistakes on that side. I love our freshmen. You know, keep feeding them into what we're doing. Their talent is exceptional. So I've been very, very pleased with them as well. So, you know, we're still looking for chemistry things. You know, and you know, trying to figure out, you know, can we slide Coleman to the 4 spot some and play him with Amani and Dane, and you know, what does that piece look like? So there's still things out there that we're far from refined, that's for sure, and we're still making way too many mistakes on the defensive side.
We played golf with Zach and Tyler. Your son Tyler. How are the young coaches doing? Those guys. I mean, they're good kids.
They're great.
They really are.
Yeah, they are great. I appreciate you saying that. They're both of those guys are young, and they found a great presence on the court. And you know, Tyler's predominantly helping. You know, on the offensive side. Zach is on the defensive side, have been their focuses. So, you know, now we, you know, when we have assistant coaches out all the time, recruiting and the fall and September become crazy months. Now we have consistency every day with those guys. So they've got a ton of responsibility from the new position and what we've done with them. You know, as we dive into scouting, they'll help with the assistant coaches in terms of those areas. So I've been really pleased. They have great relationships with our guys, and it's one of the best things the NCAA's done is add those 2 spots.
That's awesome. And by the way, if Tyler on 5 at the country club hit it pin high to the right, he was on 8, but what the heck? If he could hit the ball straight, he'd probably drive greens. The guy can hit the golf ball now.
He crushes. He crushes a golf ball. Yeah, and he weighs 150 pounds and hits it a mile. But yeah, he's got to get the straight thing. He's got to get the straight thing figured out.
Yeah. All right. So, still enjoying it, man. Was this 7th year? No, it can't be the 7th year. 6th year?
Well, start of year 7. There we go.
But you just got here, and you were just coaching Oklahoma State or whatever the heck it was, and here you are. But you're still enjoying life. You love what you do.
Yeah, it's you know, I say it every day. It's I've never worked a day in my life. I get to do something that I have a passion about, and it's very rewarding. You know, years like this and where our guys to this point have been fabulous, and I enjoy putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I enjoy the process. And you know, now we've got brutal games coming up and a tough schedule, and it starts on Monday, and they start ripping those games off here pretty quick once they get started. So, but love it, and got the best fans in America and the best home court. I'm glad we've got the month of November at home.
Lastly, you ever have a relationship at all with Bobby Knight? Anything there at all? Was that before?
I did, actually. And it was very interesting yesterday because I had Big Ten Network on watching some of Mike Woodson, and my first acquaintance with Coach Knight was as a junior in high school. That was right after Landon Turner's accident, and he was going around the country doing a bunch of speaking engagements, raising money for his medical expenses. And he happened to come to my little hometown in McPherson, Kansas. And my dad at the time was the president of Chamber of Commerce, so I got to ride with my dad to Wichita, Kansas, which was about an hour drive, and take Coach Knight to and from the airport.
Wow! And
it was one of those moments. And then obviously he was at Tech when we were at Kansas State early on, and was around him and got to know his son Pat very well, and Chris Beard was on that staff at that time, and so I was around him some in the profession, but didn't know him, personally from an adult side of things.
Well, with all the stuff, some of all the good things he did kind of got overshadowed. But man, could he X's and O's it, and definitely was intimidating. But boy, what a winner as a coach from the standpoint of knowing how to form teams. Anyway, I'm rooting for you all the way, Coach. You're the man. You're getting her done, and we're excited about this potential and have fun putting it together. But it's fun watching your team, and I just have changed from the 18-year-old. I'm going with the 23-year-old guy now. It's crazy, and I love it. But anyway, good luck. Let's get them going, and can't wait to watch you Monday.
See everybody on Monday. Thank you.
That's Coach Brad Underwood on the Tapman's Towing phone line, Illinois basketball coach on ESPN 93.5. No, he sounds I think it's better for him when you're not having to, really.
Absolutely.
18. We have two really, really good freshmen. Three really, really good ones. But they're freshmen.
Right.
So, but right now, you got a bunch of men that understand the work ethic because they have done all this. So it's just like, get the notebook out, look through 1,800 names, and let's do that.
Right. It's cool the way he's embraced it. I like hearing that side. Thanks for thinking of that, Stevie J. Great chat with Coach Brad Underwood here on ESPN 93.5.
Well, before you walk down the aisle, make sure, Busey suggests this, so they've got the credibility on it. Make sure that you talk money.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about what you're going to do when you're married. Are you having your own account? Am I having mine? Are we doing a joint? How are we saving? What's the plan here? Can we really look out 40, 50 years down the road and say, what do we want? That takes some maturity. Even if you're older and you really have a little cash here and there, not sure what to do, Busey's happy to sit down with you. Talk about what you want to do. They're going to ask you, what do you want? Well, I don't want to worry about money. Okay, so here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to make this, we're going to save this, we're going to do this, and we're going to put it here, and you're not going to worry about it because it's going to grow. That's what they do. They've been doing it a long, long time. They got everything, personal, mortgage, business, cash management, wealth management. It is all there at Busey. Go to Busey.com, stop by one of their many convenient locations today. Member FDIC.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Job growth moderated in October. There were 150,000 new jobs created last month, fewer than forecast. The unemployment rate rose to 3.9%. And job creation for August and September was revised lower by 101,000. Wage growth for the year ending in October rose 4.1%. That's a sign that wage increases are also moderating. Apple's forecast for the holiday quarter is dragging down that stock. Apple sees business flat from a year ago. The holiday season is usually when Apple sells more iPhones. The parent company of Outback Steakhouse is seeing softer demand for casual dining. It's lowering expectations for the year. Bloomin' Brands is also parent company of Carrabba's, Bonefish Grill, and Fleming's. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola. Invested in you.
I'm Dana Perino, and this is Perino on Politics.
Dana Perino, co-host of The
Absolutely.
Five and co-anchor of America's Newsroom, returns to Fox News Audio with a brand new podcast, Perino on Politics. Listeners of Everything Will Be Okay will be thrilled by the return of a familiar voice, but with a fresh spin as Dana guides audiences through the 2024 election cycle. Make sure you subscribe to this series wherever you download podcasts and leave a rating and
It's
review.
cool the way
All right, it's ESPN 93.5. Dr. Al Dada, OSF Healthcare. Doctor, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Nice. You're a heart specialist.
Yes.
So how did we get into heart specialist in your work? I mean, you went to medical school, did all that. Why the heart?
Why the heart? Most important organ, in my opinion.
Well, it's pretty important, all right. But there's so many variations and complications and things. We want a healthy heart.
Yes.
If it's pumping the blood, how do we keep a healthy heart?
Oh, there's different levels of heart disease. Some of it is acquired. Some of it is just with age. Some of it is you're not taking care of your engine that keeps your body going. You know, so what I wanted to talk about today specifically, because there's different levels. We talk about heart disease. Your garden variety heart disease that we hear about is the massive coronary. Well, those are the arteries that supply the heart muscle to keep it going. And there's irregular heartbeats like atrial fibrillation and so forth, and that's common, and we see that as we age. But what I wanted to hone in on today is aortic valve disease, and that is becoming a lot more common.
What is the result of a bad aortic? I mean, is that a cardiac arrest? What is that?
Well, it could lead to deterioration of the condition of the heart overall.
Okay.
And the demise of the heart.
So give me something to take where I have a good aortic. How do we do that? Is there a pill I can? What do we do?
There's nothing.
Healthy
that you can
living,
do.
taking care of yourself.
That takes care of the arteries. That takes care of the rhythm. But the valve itself, unfortunately, we age as the blood pumps through this valve, which is the main valve that's separates the heart, the pump, and the rest of the circulation.
So the pipe gets old.
It does.
So what do we do?
As the blood flows through this valve, there is this micro trauma on the valve that results in essentially calluses on the valve that leads to the narrowing of the valve.
Okay.
What can you do to prevent it? Nothing, unfortunately.
How do I know what my status is? And if I build calluses and it's narrowing, how do I widen the road?
Get your physical exams annually.
Okay.
And a simple stethoscope exam to listen to the flow through the valve tells us, we have a turbulent flow.
You didn't bring your stethoscope today, did you?
In my car.
Okay, you always have one.
You might want to check us over.
We need checkups. We want people to be aware of it because generally to go in and see Dr. Al Dada here from OSF Healthcare, I'm a little worried you'll find something.
Well,
I feel fine, that kind of thing.
So technology has improved. And historically, the way we fixed this valve was open heart surgery. And you fix the valve by taking out the old valve and you put a new one in. And
You put a new valve in?
Yes.
Common?
Very common, actually.
Is it artificial? It has to be artificial.
Artificial.
And it works.
And it works.
And that's a stent then, or it's a tube-looking thing?
It kind of...
You're putting a PVC in me or something.
So historically, it was like a little cage, like a circular cage with bioprosthetic material in between it to mimic the natural valve.
Okay.
And there is also mechanical valves with metallic structure to it. But unfortunately, if you get a metallic valve, you're on blood thinners the rest of your life.
I see.
You know, and it's a poison, essentially. You know, you risk bleeding. But the technology has evolved.
Wow.
To the point that we could actually deliver a new valve inside your old valve with a puncture wound on your skin through the groin.
See, this is crazy, and you're just you're telling them you're like a kid getting presents. You love this. You're passionate about it. How was it? It's one thing to be good at this. It's another thing to be passionate and good at this. Why the passion?
Let's say you have valve disease and your heart is having to pump. Let's say you got a sump pump in your basement, right?
Yeah.
And it has a 2-inch pipe.
Okay.
And now with the callus formation and the narrowing of the valve, it becomes a 1-inch pipe. So this sump pump is going to have to fight resistance.
Yep.
obstruction of
I get
the flow.
Good explanation.
So the same thing with your heart. Now it struggles. So it's inefficient.
But why are you so fired up about it? You're great. This is awesome. It makes me really interested in this because you're interested in
Exactly.
Yeah. So you come in my clinic, we see you, we identified a problem, okay? We fixed the problem. The turnaround in symptom improvement and freedom to be physically able to do everything you want independently. This is just amazing. We see these patients struggling, short of breath, chest pains, passing out, having heart failure and so forth, and then we fix the valve.
So you're excited to help people.
Oh my gosh.
So what when you help somebody and they're doing great, what does that feel like?
Oh my gosh. I mean, you come in my clinic in a wheelchair because you're unable to walk from the door of my clinic to the exam room, and the next time I see you, you're in cardiac rehab on a treadmill or stationary bike or whatever, independent. I mean, man, this is amazing. You know,
you might want to go see this guy.
Yeah.
Dr. Al-Dada. It's how you spell it? A-L. Is it, how do you spell Dada?
D-A.
D-A-H?
Yes.
Yep.
And he's at OSF. Can people get an appointment with you? How does that work?
You could call in. You can get referral from your primary care and so forth. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just went to osfhealthcare.org, and it's easy to set up an appointment and click on cardiac, and yeah.
Well, I just fired up that you're fired up. and you have such an interest. You're like somebody who wants to make sure it's good. If it's good, you'll tell them, hey, you're good. If it's not, you can say, hey, here's what we can do, and we go through your vein. You don't have to do the whole open heart thing. So you're on the cutting edge. OSF has brought, I think, a real lift to the community from the standpoint of you guys are good, and Carl's good, you're good. So we have great here, which is what we want.
Yes.
And you got a guy here standing next to me that, you know, is excited to help you. And I'm sorry, but I don't feel that with everybody. And you kind of got that thing.
Thank you.
How many years have you been doing this?
I graduated med school actually 20 years ago. It took me 10 years to train up to this point, so I've been practicing for 10 years.
Well, when it comes to cardiac care, it looks like OSF is award-winning. You got a great team around you?
We do. We do. An amazing team.
All right.
Well, Al-Dada, Dr. Al-Dada, if you want to learn more about him, you would go to the website.
osfhealthcare.org.
And I just want to run to your car with you and have you check.
Yep. Get that stethoscope out, please.
Because you know what? It's just like every man, particularly men, I'm fine. Well, what about that left arm thing? I'm fine. And generally speaking, when there's problems, there are warnings.
Yes.
And we ignore those warnings.
Yes.
And that's a shame. You ought to take care of yourself and do all that stuff. But thanks for coming in. Come back sometime. Anytime I get a passionate anything, you want to talk about your garage sale, if you're passionate, I'll put you on. I mean, I want you. But you got great presence and really appreciate. Great meeting you again, and good to see you. And I appreciate what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
OSF Healthcare, Dr. Al-Dada, and the guy can help your heart. What the heck? Go see him.
osfhealthcare.org.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. There's no one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is we can help you improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or find us online at providentfinancialgroupllc.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
So when was the last time you saw a best deal guarantee?
You mean a promise that actually held up?
Right.
That some unknown online entity didn't want you to log in and download a code and then re-verify as you join some club.
Drives you nuts, I know.
And then once you purchase that set of steak knives...
Well, Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is a lot simpler. You find a verified great deal and they beat it. Just show them the deal you saw. A newspaper clipping or the online cart price will do, and then you're good.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, it's one of those instances where you see a best deal guarantee and...
you get the best deal.
This is Dennis Rieken, chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. Our exclusive 10-year protection plan comes free with most appliance purchases. Whether it's a GE, Whirlpool, Frigidaire, Bosch, or any of our 30 brands, I guarantee we will beat any competitor's deal. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Tapman's Towing reminds all Illini fans, when you're on the road and see lights flashing, move over and use caution passing. Let's all get home safe tonight.
Here's a look at local news. Illinois launching the next round of funding for Illinois Electric Vehicle Rebate Program. This round runs through January 31st. The program offers a $4,000 rebate for the purchase of an all-electric passenger vehicle or a $1,500 rebate for the purchase of an all-electric motorcycle. Open enrollment's underway for the Affordable Care Act health insurance marketplace. Illinois residents will have an additional month to enroll in a health plan through January 15. Department of Insurance says there's now 12 issuers offering ACA marketplace health plans in the state. One person hurt following a crash on I-55 in Macoupin County. State police say a semi rear-ending another on I-55 south of Staunton Road. One of the drivers sent to the hospital. Crews were called to the scene to clean up grain that spilled into the roadway. Police and fire spent hours at the scene trying to find out the cause of that accident. But again, the good news, there were relatively few injuries. You're up to date from the Stevie Jay Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Here's what new customers are saying about Interstate Batteries.
It's nice to see capable and helpful associates. They did a top-notch job.
They were easy to talk to and explained everything.
Service was prompt and I was a walk-in. Total service time was only like 20 minutes. I highly recommend Interstate Batteries.
Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable. How much is dependable worth? Experience them for the first time at 2504 North Mattis. Way out there, but worth the drive. Interstate Batteries, outrageously dependable.
Visit interstatebatteries.com.
Fighting Illini football is back in Memorial Stadium for Dad's Day and Military Appreciation Day, Saturday, November 11th, as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers. Get tickets for as low as $20 as we celebrate dads for this proud Illinois tradition. All active military personnel are eligible to receive free tickets. Be in your seat early for a special military flyover. Illinois football versus Indiana, Saturday, November 11th. Get tickets and more info at fightingillini.com.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for Central Illinois, Champaign, and Van Anvis. Saturday, pretty easy going. Early November weather pattern here over the course of the weekend. A little rain in the forecast from time to time, but lots of dry hours each day into the first half of next week. We'll get into some chillier air later next week, but that following week, approaching the mid-stretch of November, signs of the beginning of a bigger warm-up ahead, with certainly this moderate to strong El Nino in control. Partly sunny for the day today. We'll tickle 60 in a couple of spots. Gusty south wind. Mostly cloudy tonight. Couple of sprinkles around out at 45. Tomorrow, partly sunny, lighter wind, and a high up near 62. Don't forget the time change, 2 a.m. Tomorrow night, back to standard time Sunday. Highs up to about 60 or so on Sunday, with a couple of sprinkles possible late in the day. A little rain in spots here for Monday, back in late Tuesday to Wednesday. Could linger into Thursday morning. High temperatures still into the 60s for Monday and Tuesday, near 60 on Wednesday. 50s Thursday, upper 40s, and some dry time scheduled for next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm your host, Greg Soldier.
Happy to welcome Elizabeth Young, Champaign County Humane Society. It's fur ball time. That's coming up a week from today.
Yes,
wow.
week from today.
Oh, you just had fur ball.
You got your game face on.
Yeah. What is fur ball? What is it?
So Fur Ball's our annual fundraising gala. It's one of the biggest nights of the year for us. This year we are going to be at the iHotel in Illinois Conference Center on Friday, November 10th. And it's really just a great celebration of all of the pets that have been in our care in the last year, the way that our community supports us, and celebrating the year ahead.
Things changed during COVID. Everybody adopted everything. Then they gave them up after COVID. I didn't understand that. How can you ever give a dog up once you love that dog? You can't give it up. What's going on? Anyway, you're full again? Is that what you have, a lot of pets that are available to adopt right now?
We were really at the top of our capacity earlier this year. We have placed so many animals with homes in the meantime, though. There are always more that need our help. And the great thing about adopting is that as soon as an animal's adopted, we have a space to accept a new animal in need. And, we're just going to be on that track and that rotation for as long as we can be in our community.
Finding that forever home. Exactly. And it's not just doggies. You have a lot of furry friends.
Absolutely. Dogs, cats, critters. We are, open to almost any companion animal. There are a couple that unfortunately we can't take care of, but like amphibians. But
amphibians. Wow. And you probably have a story there. There's probably something you
lizard or snake or something,
crocodile or something.
Well, we do accept reptiles, so we're happy to take lizards, snakes, geckos. Yeah, they just amphibians and fish can be really hard to take care of. It's just a lot of
fish.
Yeah.
Wow.
Labor.
Okay. So when it comes to the new location, and that's kind of come out of the years of Furball and the support. Let's talk about that move and where you're at. I haven't been over there yet, Elizabeth.
So can I now say it wasn't so good the other place, so now I can say that? Okay, now it's better.
Well, it is better. It's really been designed for our needs, which is so cool.
Great.
Having the opportunity to really address some of the pain points that we had in our own building. But that building, served us so well for so many years.
Long time.
And if you look at the growth of the shelter from the original Bonneville shelter that launched in the 50s all the way through to the Urbana shelter, and now our new location in Champaign, 4003 Kearns Drive.
Where is that?
4003 Kearns
4,000.
Drive.
Where is it? What's it near?
It's the biggest crossroads is Staley and Springfield.
Oh,
yeah.
Heck,
So
that's not far from me. I ought to go see you.
Right.
Okay, awesome. 4003 Kearns, Kearns.
Absolutely.
Kearns Road, and you can go see the Champaign County Humane Society.
Please do.
Hard to go in though, because I take them all.
Good. Come see them.
And there is a process that, sometimes you go into a room, you make sure it's a good fit.
Absolutely.
I know we had an experience with a basset hound that was jumping up on my daughter when she was young and knocked her over. So we knew that wasn't a good fit. And I like that. And actually, the dog needs to be spayed or neutered and all this other stuff, vaccination stuff, right, Elizabeth?
Yeah, absolutely. We make sure that animals are in good health immediately on intake. And, if there is an animal that needs a little bit of extra love and care before they come up for adoption, we're really grateful to have a community that supports us and is able to help us take care of them that way.
All right, how can people get involved with Furball a week from tonight?
Ooh, one of the best and most fun ways that you can get involved in Furball this year is by joining our Golden Ticket Vacation Raffle. It's a 1 in 100 chance to win vacation. Vacation will include flights, lodging, unique experiences in each of the locations. The winner will be able to pick between 4 really cool trips.
It's awesome.
Now, can you do some of this online, or do you have to be present?
The vacation raffle you don't need to be present for, which is why it's one of the best ways to help. But it is available online. If you go to our website, cuhumane.org, right on the homepage, very first thing you'll see is the Furball invitation. Just click through and see what's available. We are also going to have a silent auction that is open to anybody with an internet connection anywhere in the world.
Okay, good.
Nice.
The goal is money.
Yeah, well, the goal is funding animals. And
money for funding animals.
Exactly.
I tried to get these guys to work for Credit of the Arts tickets, but they want money, so I can't do that with them. But you need funding to
really
do what
about
you
money.
do. There's a lot of expenses.
Although in the silent auction, we do have a gift card a gift certificate for 2 Cranard tickets, any show of your choice.
There you go.
There you go,
That's
Stevie.
what I'm
There's
looking
a
for.
Cranard Center
That's a
right
Cranard
there.
Center. That's an incredible facility. Elizabeth Young. Okay, your website again is
cuhumane.org.
And the Furball is Friday, November 10th. Cocktails starting at 5:30 at the iHotel and Conference Center. The new location, 4003 Kearns Drive in Champaign. If you need details like I just did, just click into cuhumane.org.
Absolutely.
Doggies and cats and pets can help your health.
Yeah, come meet our guinea pigs. They're really cute.
Oh, nice.
Man, you have a very sweet voice.
Oh, thank you.
Nice to have you here. Thank you. Elizabeth Young, Champaign County Humane Society, ESPN 93.5.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery. It's time to come home to Carpet Weavers. We don't want you to just like your new floors. We want you to love them. From waterproof floors and carpet to furnitures and design advice, we've got a team of experts on your side. We'll get you the best price and the best quality products. And complete your home with furniture and accessories. Buy it all with free financing too. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
I've got to clean out this garage. Let's see. What's the cheapest and easiest dumpster service in our area?
Here's what I found. The doggy bag.
Think she's broken. I'm not looking for takeout. Siri, try again.
The doggy bag from Bulldog Disposal in Mahomet.
Doggy bag? What's that?
If you got junk that needs to go, but you don't want the hassle of having an enormous dumpster delivered, grab a doggy bag, keep it as long as you need. They'll come take it away. For more information, just visit bulldoggybag.com.
That's bulldoggybag.com.
Fleetwood Mac Rumors is coming to the Virginia Theater on November 15th.
Rumors of Fleetwood Mac, the world's finest tribute to Fleetwood Mac, returns to the stage at the Virginia Theater Wednesday, November 15th. Founding member Mick Fleetwood actually endorsed Rumors of Fleetwood Mac, channeling the spirit of Fleetwood Mac, performing hits like Go Your Own Way and Dreams and Rhiannon.
Get your tickets now at thevirginia.org.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, Champagne.com. Yeah, enjoyed Brad Underwood. It was fun having him in. All right, sports headlines. Got football tomorrow. We're leaving today. Great Silver Bird in Sky leaves a little later for the Illinois football team up to Minneapolis.
2:30 kickoff tomorrow. And again, great to hear Coach Brett Bielema earlier also. He's 9-0 with Minnesota.
Yeah, Wisconsin and a game last couple of years.
Right.
He's done well, but Minnesota's first in the West, so they've got a lot to play for. They're going to have a big crowd, and we got to just hang in there because one fired up All-American will be joining us after halftime. His name is Johnny Newton because he's got to sit out that first half from that call I didn't like. Anyway, if we can just be nice and close. The line is only 2.5. Minnesota's only 2.5-point favorite at home leading the West. That's how even I think the whole division is. Last year for that Western Conference, too. This is it.
And tomorrow for IHSA playoff action at 2 o'clock, Cesar Valle will host Salt Fork. DeCoin will be at Unity at 2. SJO and Roxana at 3. STM in their 8-man football has a game against Ridgewood, so all the best of those still in playoff contention. We'll have our Illinois and EIU game Monday the 6th. To start the season off at 7 o'clock. Don't forget that fan bus from Pia's. We also have Brooklyn in Chicago at 7 o'clock tonight in NBA action. New York's in Milwaukee, and Cleveland is in Indianapolis to face the Pacers. That's Essentially Sports. I'm Diane Ducey.
Want unbeatable prices on your next furniture purchase, but also seeking that local hometown feel? Look no further than Kelsey Furniture in Tuscola. Customers rave about their friendly, established staff, as well as their great selection, amazing prices, and second-to-none delivery service. They're a third-generation local business, and they've always got your best interests at heart. Find the look you love for less. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, but always available online at kelseyfurniture.com. That's kelseyfurniture.com.
Since Busey Bank first opened our doors in 1868, we have built upon a tradition of close relationships and broad financial capabilities. Our experienced team provides the highest level of personalized service to ensure we accomplish your goals, simplifying your wealth management and business lending needs and ensuring a legacy for generations. Building business, growing wealth since 1868. Proud to be the official bank of the Fighting Illini. Member FDIC.
Looking for a place to host a corporate meeting, intimate gathering, or a large-scale celebration? If so, the University of Illinois' Alice Campbell Alumni Center offers the perfect space and staff to make your function a success. A few rooms offered at the center include the Elegant Ballroom, the Richmond Family Gallery, and the Premier and Professional Executive Boardroom. For more information on renting a space at the Alice Campbell Alumni Center, visit uiaa.org/alumni-center or call 1-800-355-2586. Go Illini!
From computer systems to brakes and tires too, at PDR, fixing cars is what they do. Remember, when you turn the key and the car won't run, call 367-9481 or use their dedicated text-only line at 383-0619. Additional information including repair quotes and online scheduling requests available from the website at pdrauto.com. Remember, they are what's best for your truck or car. They are PDR.
Crossroads Contractor Supply specializes in the delivery of tools and supplies within a 150-mile radius of Champaign-Urbana. Reliable, timely, and with reasonable prices, Crossroads Contractor Supply knows what equipment and tools are needed for your job. Get the job done right with proper tools and equipment. Did something break? Construction materials, tools, as well as safety equipment, all available at Crossroads Contractor Supply. Visit crossroadscontractorsupplyil.com.
Welcome to Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Hi, I'm looking for a refrigerator.
When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Oh, yeah, well, I just need a refrigerator. Don't need the whole store.
But you get it, the whole store.
My kitchen is only about this big.
You get me.
Hello.
All those delivery, installation, and service technicians in back.
Wow, all those people?
The Dick Van Dyke 5-10-year protection plan, which means in the unlikely event something goes wrong in the first 5 years, your repair cost is nothing.
Nothing?
10 years parts coverage on the major components.
Looks like I'm getting more than a refrigerator today. How much does this whole store cost?
Nothing.
Come on.
For real. We guarantee to beat any competitor's deal, all that other stuff we talked about, like our service tax.
And your 5-10-year protection plan?
All included.
I'm Dennis Freak and chairman of Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. And when we say you get the whole store, we mean the whole store. Wow!
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Hello again, everyone. Let's check weather for East Central Illinois. Champaign-Urbana is Saturday. Not too shabby of a spell of weather for early November into the weekend. Going to be a bit windy for the day today with a partly sunny sky, but an afternoon temperature right around the 60-degree mark. South wind 15 to 25 miles per hour, but a good day's worth of drying and firming for outdoor work and harvest operations. Mostly cloudy for tonight. Couple sprinkles around. A low down to 45. Another dry day's worth of weather ahead for the day tomorrow. Partly sunny, lighter wind, and high to about 62. We'll level off into the 30s tomorrow night. Don't forget the time change here before we retire Saturday night. Back to standard time on Sunday. Partly sunny, couple sprinkles late in the day, and a high near 60 degrees. A little rain in the forecast here for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Could even linger into Thursday. No heavy amounts, though, and many dry hours each day. Mild at 66 on Monday. A Tuesday high at 62. Lower 60s again for Wednesday. Then we'll cool off for the end part of the week with highs in the 50s on Thursday. Upper 40s next Friday. For Stevie Jay Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
Get the roof your home deserves by Roof Doctors, your residential roofing specialist that has always offered the best warranties in the industry, like our non-prorated 50-year warranty. Our customers love that we are family-owned and locally operated. We make our customer needs our top priority. With over 30 years experience and the best customer service, give Roof Doctors a call today for your free estimate at 328-7529. In your community and for your community, Roof Doctors.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Everybody needs insurance, and that's why I love Kyle Lewis at Insurance Providers Group. This is Jay Lehman, All-American linebacker. Kyle provides auto, life, health, and all kinds of commercial lines of insurance. They are my one-stop shop for all my insurance needs, and all my rental properties are insured by IPG. That's why you need to email Kyle at IPGINS.com. Kyle at IPGINS.com. ins.com.
Yeah, this is not Fleetwood Mac. It's the group that's going to the Virginia Theater that sounds like Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, that sounds like Stevie Nicks. Rumors of Fleetwood Mac as the world's finest tribute Fleetwood Mac band coming to the Virginia Theater on Wednesday, November 15th at 7:30. And even Mick Fleetwood himself has endorsed this band.
Yeah.
They perform now over 950,000 times.
Hey, what now?
That's what it says.
Wait a minute.
And fans across the world have enjoyed.
They haven't done 950,000 shows. It's impossible.
That's what it says. Fleetwood Mac fans. Sorry.
Thank you.
That's how many fans they performed in front of.
Yeah.
That's a lot of.
I never took the Evelyn Wood reading course either.
So sorry.
Right.
TheVirginia.org to get your tickets for Wednesday, November 15th.
2. Although these people have been out, thousands of times.
Has performed now over 950,000 Fleetwood Mac fans across the world.
All right, so that's Virginia.
That's right.
Virginia.org.
Actually, we have a couple of tickets we could hand out. If you're interested in a pair, you can text 217-359-2255 FM for Fleetwood Mac.
Have a great weekend.
Enjoy the weekend.
Diane Ducey, I'm Stevie J. Have a blessed weekend.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver, president of Carpet Weaver's Flooring and Furniture Gallery. Take a look around your home. Is it finally ready for some much-needed updates? If you don't know where to start, then just meet with one of our experts. We'll help you find the perfect waterproof plank floor for your kitchen or that stain-resistant, super soft carpet for your bedroom. Finish your room update with a custom sofa and chairs, or choose a trendy in-stock dining set that's priced right. Come home to Carpet Weavers, where floors, furniture, and family meet.
Here's your OSF Healthcare Medical Minute.
Hi, I'm JT Barnhart, the president of OSF Heart of Mary Medical Center. I want to start by just thanking our providers and our staff, our mission partners at the hospital for the great care that they take of our community in providing the services. One of the new offerings that we have coming up in the next couple of months, we've recruited an interventional pain provider who will be able to do some of those injections and procedures to help people who are struggling with long-term pain. In conjunction with that, we have an orthopedic spine surgeon that will work together with the interventional pain provider to really offer a robust spine pain service for the community of Champaign-Urbana and the surrounding areas. We have also brought in a brand new open heart surgeon. He is doing a really good job, really helping us expand our heart program to be a more regional heart institute at OSF in Urbana. And so I want to just continue doing the great things that we're doing around our cardiac program to offer a great service for the community.
For more information, visit osfhealthcare.org.
Norm Miller here, chairman of Interstate Batteries. You know, without batteries, life would be pretty lifeless. That's why Interstate All Battery Centers carry them in every size, shape, and style so you can drive, drill, call, film, or do whatever it is you want to do. Stop in today. They've got the power to keep you going. Interstate All Battery Center. Outrageously dependable.
Interstate All Battery Center. You'll find them outrageously dependable just over Interstate 74 at 2504 North Mattis Avenue in Champaign, with batteries for most every application in stock.
Fighting Illini football is back in Memorial Stadium for Dad's Day and Military Appreciation Day, Saturday, November 11th, as they take on the Indiana Hoosiers. Get tickets for as low as $20 as we celebrate dads for this proud Illinois tradition. All active military personnel are eligible to receive free tickets. Be in your seat early for a special military flyover. Illinois football versus Indiana, Saturday, November 11th. Get tickets and more info at fightingillini.com.
This is Rob Meyer with Provident Financial Group. Unfortunately, there is not a one-size-fits-all retirement plan. Finding the right plan for you depends on many factors. The good news is that we can help improve your retirement readiness, whatever your situation. Contact us today at 217-366-3456 or online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
When it comes to finding a reliable vehicle, look no further than Sarah Champagne, your trusted automotive destination. They carry a lineup of top brands, including Honda, BMW, Subaru, GMC, and Buick. And they're not just about cars, they're about people. Their team is dedicated to providing you with trustworthy service and dependable vehicles that fit your lifestyle. Experience the difference at Sarah Champagne. Visit Sarah, S-E-R-R-A, champagne.com. Hi, it's Stevie Jay. So I took my mom into Audubell, owned by Jeff Hanley, who owns 13 locations around central Illinois. She's had so much trouble hearing for so long. Audubell, A-U-D-I-B-E-L, for hearing. And some of the new technologies, they've got AI now for some of these hearing aids, and they're virtually invisible. It's unbelievable, and it helped my mom. It helped her incredibly. We've been to other places. This is by far the best place I've ever been in for hearing help. Go to audibelteam.com. That's A-U-D-I-B-E-L. If you want more information about Audubell and how Jeff Hanley and his amazing culture and amazing team that they have, go to audibelteam.com. That's A-U-D-I-B-E-L, audibelteam.com. You'll be so happy you found Audubell. Amazing work. They got a location in Champaign. Go to audibelteam.com. That's audibelteam.com.